Stress is something that we all have. So here's why. This is kind of interesting. So you have a part of your brain called the amygdala, and there could be a hijacking or taking over of the amygdala. And here's why that matters. The amygdala is your emotional brain. It's like a guard dog that wants to protect you, and it reacts quicker than the part of your brain that's rational, that makes decisions and allows you to learn. And if your emotional brain is stressed, it sends out a signal. It's like imagine a dog starts barking, and that signal releases something called cortisol. And because of that, you can't think. What does it really mean? It means that you now have stress. And when you have stress, how can you function? This is something that we need to figure out how to deal with. So let's look at some things. What can you do? You can stop and you can manage yourself. That's called self management. Breathe slow, deep breaths, counting to 10. And that guard dog protecting you will eventually walk away. And when that dog is gone, then you're going to be ready to learn again and think straight. So here's what you got to ask. What's up? What's going on? You have to identify what it is that's stressing you. Here's a really great tool that we all have on our trusty iPad called the mood meter. So the mood meter to identify very specifically your mood. Because if you stop and slow down and you say, I'm not just red or angry, I'm actually worried. Well, if you name that fear worry, then you can start dealing with what it is that's worrying with you. So let's look at a way we could use our mood meter. Okay. It's starting with self awareness. The first thing we look at is where are we on our mood meter? That's self awareness. The next thing we're going to do is something about it by journaling. We could write down what's happening that put us in that mood, like what's going on around us. And taking a second to pause and write it down, that'll help us think about what it is. Once we write it down, we read what we wrote and then we underline. We become self aware at what put us in this mood, and now we can control it. That's kind of a big deal. You have to think about where do you want to be on the mood meter? Because now you're going to start getting out of that mood. Where do you want to be? How can you shift it? And what can you do to help get you there? Because guess what? We get to control our mood. We get to decide if we hold on to it or let it go by. Who are people who can help us get there? And what can we do next time we know we're in a situation that might trigger us and put us in a bad mood? What can we do about that? Now, this is such a big part of this, you guys. What can you do to get you there? That is having management over yourself and making responsible decisions. So, me personally, I like to breathe, slow down, take big, deep breaths, and give my amygdala an opportunity to slow down before my rational brain can't work anymore. So I breathe. Get fresh air, go outside, go look at the tree, go look at the sky, go look at the sun. And if it's a cloudy day, it's still better than staying in. Get some exercise, go for a walk, listen to music, color. I love to color. Drink water. Sometimes just getting a drink of water helps me reprioritize and get myself in a better place. Now, who can help you? The who is a big deal in our life, right? Who are those relationships that we have that we can depend on? Choose people in your life that fill you up. Relationships are a two-way street. It shouldn't always just be you giving. Who's somebody who can help you too and who you enjoy helping in return? These are positive relationships that we can have. Let's say that you walk into a room and it just seems or feels really, really tense or stressful. That amygdala hijacking could happen again. So, what we all have to learn how to do is read the room. And what does that mean? It means that we should be aware of the people around us. You know, we're not in a bubble, we're not all alone in this world. Sometimes it feels like we are, but we're not. So, how do you walk into a room and look at the people in the room? How do you consider what's going on with them? What is it that may be triggering them to be in the mood that they're in? Whether that's a great mood or not a great mood. Remember that we all have a set of rules that define us, and those values and rules that we know may not read well to one another. But if we pause and we think about it, we might be able to be more aware and deal with the situations that we're in. These are other things that will help us with our stressful situation. Now, let's look at some more strategies that we can get for working with stress.